welcome to Kingston Now. This week we'll talk with Chris Silva of the Ulster Performing Arts Center in the Bardavon about great shows coming to the area this spring and summer. Margie Menard, the Kingston Library Director, will be here too to tell us about their cool upcoming events. And we'll start with writer Bethany Saltman, the editor of the new Chronogram Kids and Family section. Hi, Bethany.
Hi, Jamie.
So you've written for Chronogram for a while, for a bunch of years, right?
Yep.
On columns on...
Yeah, I've been writing a column called Flowers Fall, a Buddhist mother's field notes from a Buddhist mom's experimental life. That was the title of the column. And I wrote that starting when my daughter was about 6 months until just recently, and she's 7. So that was monthly. Yeah.
So when Chronogram decided to start a new kids and family section, you were probably a natural choice to go to.
Exactly, exactly. And we've been talking about it for a while, that we wanted to make it a little broader and have more content than just me and my internal struggle. Yeah.
Well, Chronogram's kind of an arts and culture magazine, so is this a branching out for them?
Well, spirit is in the name as well.
Yes.
Art, culture, spirit, I think it's in that order. So my life as a Buddhist and as a parent was how I got into this, and then over the years I've actually learned a lot about parenting and things that are going on in that world. And so I was, and I've written for other magazines about parenting, so it kind of worked out.
Now the section debuted with the April issue last month.
Yes.
The new issue is on the stands now. What are some of the things you're going to cover? I mean, parenting, there's just so much to cover, isn't there?
Yes, there is a lot to cover.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I only have, we have 3 pieces to the section as of now. Hopefully it'll expand. But so right now I have a new column just called Field Notes, Explorations into Family Life. So it's more of an op-ed kind of angle, not so much about me and my personal struggles, but about my view of what I see going on the scene of parenting. And then we have another section where doing all kinds of different things. Like the first issue was about coming-of-age rituals, different ways that people do coming-of-age rituals in the Hudson Valley, alternatives to the tradition. And then this month we are doing a roundup of summer camps in the Hudson Valley. Next month we're doing a piece on precocious puberty, when children go into begin puberty really early, and what is that about? And we have all kinds of really interesting things piling up.
So in terms of topics, are you just referencing your life, or is it your friends and family and everything that you see around? Because you know, as a fairly new parent, my son is 4 years old.
Yeah.
One of the things that was really important for me as a parent starting off was to be able to commiserate with other parents and to get advice.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I definitely go from my own experience, but I also I read a lot of what's going on about in the parenting magazines. So even in the New York Times, you know, parenting is a very hot topic. People are really into talking about it. So there's a lot to read. So while I do think of myself and the people that I know, I also read around and see what are the ways that people are talking about raising children, and then think of ideas from there. Or like books, people who are writing books. I just talked yesterday to Emily Bazelon, who wrote Sticks and Stones, the new book about bullying. And so that's going to be in the next issue. And the month before that, I spoke with Andrew Solomon, who wrote Far from the Tree, which was an amazing experience. He's an incredible guy. And so I'm really into talking to authors who have spent a lot of time thinking about this stuff and getting their view on things.
Parenting has kind of gone through a few evolutions in the past 100 years. For a long time, it was pretty static. It stayed the same. And then sort of in the late 60s, 70s, it seemed to shift a bit. And are we going through another shift now?
You know, I really think that we are. I think that, you know, it's funny, I asked Andrew Solomon in my interview, I said, why are we talking about parenting so much? And are we talking about it too much? And he said that he doesn't think we're talking about it too much, that it's, in fact, probably the most important thing to talk about. But the conversation may not be that helpful. And I think what I see, you know, this is just me, but what I see is people getting so worried about how to raise children because we maybe didn't have the best upbringings. We're on shaky ground, maybe as adults, and so we've lost some of that natural kind of alpha authority with our children, in my view, and everything is up for grabs now. So we have to make these decisions about every single thing, and that's not any way to live. You know, it's very
Right.
difficult.
Uh-huh.
And my view is that children really just need to be bonded to their parents. And that's what they need, and that's what they are begging for. And a lot of the the hoopla around like all the different parenting styles and everything, to me, are a bit of a distraction. And you know, what is really most fundamental, a parent and child need to be attached. They need to be bonded. And this is not like Dr. Sears, like you have to wear your baby all the time and let the baby sleep in the bed and all that. That's what I call a shtick. That's just another routine. You know, and one of the reasons why that's difficult for parents is because we maybe didn't have that for ourselves growing up. And so I really, in the section, I'm really excited to be able to open up some of this material in a non-shaming, not didactic, no bullet points, I mean, maybe a few, but you know, really a kind of loving conversation about raising children. I think we could all really benefit from that. And plus, it's fun, it's interesting, and you know, and in addition to the kind of heavier things that I'm always drawn to, we will definitely be giving a lot of tips for, you know, like I said, like where to send your child for summer camp and things like that. And also we're doing listings, I forgot to say that, of just like 5 cool things to do. And that has been way more challenging than I ever would have thought, because the Hudson Valley is just filled with groovy things to do on the weekends.
Well, we look forward to the continuing success of the new section, and thanks for being here today.
Okay, thank you.
You're watching Kingston Now. Next up, it's Margie Menard, the Kingston Library Director. Wait till you hear what they've got going on there this spring and summer. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Kingston Now. The Kingston Library is the largest in Ulster County and is part of the Mid-Hudson Library System. And joining us now is Library Director Margie Menard and Madelina Hoetger. Welcome to the show, folks.
Thank you.
Now, I know you're the Library Director. What do you do, Madelina?
I am a former library trustee. I served as the library president for a couple of years, and I am currently the president-elect of our Friends Association.
And what does the Friends Group do for a library?
We are their social and fundraising opportunity base. So we do different fundraising things through membership, through different activities, and then Margie provides us with a wish list of things that the library might be interested in us donating towards. So.
And Margie, just to give people an overview of the Mid-Hudson Library System, I think it's just a fabulous system. It's 66 sort of interconnected libraries.
It is. Well, it's 66 independent libraries that form this cooperative, and when you are a member of, say, Kingston Library, you have access to the resources of all the other 65 libraries. And we're supported very well by the staff and consultants at the Mid-Hudson Library System.
So if you have a library card from Kingston, you can take a book out in Woodstock, say.
Absolutely.
And there's lots of interlibrary loans that happen, right? If you don't have a book, you can get it from another library. Right.
So if you're a Kingston resident, a Kingston patron, and you see that the Woodstock Library has a book, we can bring it in for you. They'll loan it to us, and we'll loan it to you.
How have libraries changed? Libraries certainly have been affected, like many other things, by the digital revolution. How are libraries changing?
Absolutely. Libraries have changed in so many ways. You mentioned technology, and technology has really improved libraries dramatically. I was just telling someone the other day that access to information and resources is so much faster, so much more efficient, so much more accurate with technology these days. You know, when I was in school, you had to look up things, you know, if you were looking for a magazine article, you would look up the reference in a book, and then you would try to find it somewhere, and someone would send you a photocopy. Now you just go online, and there's even keyword searching. So if you're looking for books on any or articles on any topic, you go into our databases, and the full text of the article is right there at your fingertips.
And I think
amazing.
One of the super things too about libraries is that there are people who don't have access to that in their homes, but if they come to the library, you have lots of computer stations and librarians to help them access that information.
Absolutely. That's been a huge mission of libraries, is to bridge that digital divide for people who either don't have the resources or don't have the knowledge. It's, you know, like you said, it's the librarians and the hardware.
So what events do you guys have coming up this spring and summer?
We have so many things. We have great stuff. I'm going to let Madeline start you off with
Okay.
that.
The Friends, in conjunction with the library, are putting on a chalk walk. It's going to be our 3rd annual chalk walk on May 11th.
Now, what is a chalk walk?
We have a lovely sidewalk that borders our new, brand new parking lot and water. What is our water?
Rain garden.
Rain garden. So we've updated the property at the library, but we have a beautiful sidewalk that borders all around the library, and we give people chalk, and you are free to draw whatever picture or image you want, appropriate for viewing, of course, and there's judging in different age categories and whatever. And I just have to say, we've done it every year. It's just the first year, everyone who came out said the same thing. To watch children do it was so much fun, but also the adults that participated just said it's been years since you just really enjoyed the fact of drawing on the chalk. And I don't think it rained for a couple days after the event, so it was nice as people came to visit the library. The outside perimeter of the library was all decorated. And then on June 11th, we have the June Friends of the Kingston Library annual meeting, and it'll be my meeting as being their president.
And what happens at that meeting?
We're just going to discuss what we're going to be doing for the upcoming year. So we're definitely looking for people from the community to come out, join the Friends, and give us their ideas, and let's get some things going for the library. So.
Margie, the library, when I go to the Kingston Library, it always seems to be busy. It is an active place, right?
It is a very active place. It's a community center. You know, we're talking about the Chalk Walk, which is this great community event. And you know, that's another way that libraries have evolved. They've become community centers, and they've become places where people do sort of collaborative learning and programming, and they come to learn something new, a hands-on kind of thing, a craft. Or last night we had some folks there talking about Peace Corps. And coming up we have you know, we have the Chalk Walk, and we have our summer programs for teens and children coming up.
Which is, I mean, a great thing to know for parents who are wondering, what do I do with my kids when school's out?
Absolutely. And as part of our community center mission, what we're doing is we're providing a whole variety of programming for kids through the summer. And when I say summer reading program, that's a big component. We encourage kids to read through the summer and provide activities to make it interesting and fun for them to read and share books. But we're also having craft programs, and we have an annual pizza tasting for teens, and we have book discussion groups for teens. And once again, we're going to be having our Teen Art Lab, which is a collaborative between the library and some local artists and professors, where they work with the kids for a whole week, 5 days, for a few hours every day. And they do different things. We've had people learning building skills and painting and audio editing kinds of stuff. So it's a great way for teens to come in, you know, those 13, 14, 15-year-old kids who aren't quite ready to work but are, you know, looking for something to do in the summer, to come in and participate in our art lab and work with professionals and teachers who really are enthusiastic and encouraging and participate in that program. Well, and it's free.
And that's a good price, right?
And Battle of the Books.
Oh, and we have, as part of our teen summer reading, we also have Battle of the Books, which happens in October, but the kids work from maybe May through the summer reading and discussing 8 different books, where they then compete with the other 65 area libraries for bragging rights and, you know, fun competition, lighthearted competition.
It's great, and they're reading at the same time.
And they're reading at the same time and making new friends.
Well, we appreciate you guys stopping by Kingston Now. Thanks.
Thank you.
This is Kingston Now. In just a moment, we're joined by Chris Silva, the Executive Director of the Ulster Performing Arts Center and the Bardavon, and he'll tell us about the great shows and events they have coming up this spring and summer. You're watching Kingston Now. Chris Silva runs the Ulster Performing Arts Center and the Bardavon, and they have some great shows and events coming up. Or should I say, those places run you, Chris?
Yeah. Hey.
You're a busy guy.
They do. Yeah. You know, it's funny. I was just thinking on the way over. It's like 2 theaters and a symphony orchestra. That's like 3 jobs.
It is.
You know, but we're, you know, it's a great staff of people, and we're all super dedicated to what we're doing. And you know, we're not doing it for the money, that's for sure. We're doing it for what we're able to produce. And so yeah, it's fun. It's a pleasure.
How has the economy in recent years affected both UPAC and the Bardavon?
Oh, severely, yeah. No, in every possible way. From funding, of course, from the federal and state, county, city side. Some of it's been eliminated completely. And it affects everything, and ticket buyers and what they choose to do with their money, et cetera. I mean, it's a huge problem, but we've been, you know, riding the wave like everybody else for the last several years. And I don't know, I get a feeling, I get little looks like it's feeling good, you know, for a minute, and then it goes back into that. But, you know, that's the way it is.
It's a nonprofit. People should know that.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, oh yeah. We run, it's 50-50 earned income against unearned income. And it's almost a $4 million annual budget. So it's a lot of money to raise every year.
And you have members. People can be a member of either
Yeah,
UPAC
we have
or,
thousands of members from all over the Hudson Valley. It's great. When we took over UPAC, our membership really took off. Again, we've gained a third of our membership since we took over UPAC because we're doing so many great shows there that that really turned people on.
And as I say, membership has its privileges.
Yeah. Early, you get first chance to buy tickets, like for Tony Bennett, who went on sale just today, 2 members only, and goes on sale to the general public on Friday. They could all be gone by the time the general public. So if you're a listener, you really should turn this TV off, go on your computer.
Actually, you know, in this day and age, they can do it on their phone while they watch the show.
Pull out your phone
Right.
and become a member on your little phone, because
by the end of the segment, you can be a member.
Bardavon.org, baby. And
own
then you
it.
can buy Tony Bennett tickets. How
Yeah.
cool is that? You know?
That's perfect.
Yeah.
Tony's coming back. What an exciting thing, huh?
Yeah. Well, you know, we tried to get him back almost immediately after we had him. We had him last year at the Bardavon for a big annual gala. Sold out in a week. I mean, I'm not kidding. It just went. And not surprising, the show was, we were talking about it, he's so incredible how he can just deliver and deliver endlessly. It was amazing. It was an amazing show, 33 songs, and he 5 standing ovations he got. I mean, it was, yeah, so we had to bring him back. And it was a great opportunity for us to help raise funds for UPAC's capital work. We're doing $600,000 in capital work at UPAC this summer, and you're not going to see any of it, you know? You won't see it at all.
Right,
You
it's
won't
all the
feel it.
infrastructure, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not going to be a
We're
great new
sealing
facade,
it.
right?
No, we're sealing the, well, actually, we are fixing the columns, because you may have noticed there's like a peg leg out there.
You've got a couple of the great shows coming too, right? You've got
Liza Minnelli.
Right.
Yeah, Liza Minnelli coming for the Bardavon Gala May 17th. There are still good seats available for that, and I can hardly wait. She's like one of the consummate leave it all on the stage kind of performers, just like her mother was. And who else? Steve Martin
and Edie Brickell.
Yeah, and the Steep Canyon Rangers. And they're actually billing the show an evening of comedy and music, because I don't think Steve Martin can help but be funny.
Indeed.
You
Well,
know,
he's
it's
made
like-
a record with the Steep Canyon
Yeah.
Rangers that won
Just
a
came
Grammy
out.
or was nominated. Like
She
a
had
year
a
ago,
previous Grammy, and he probably got a Grammy with this. He's got the new Edie Brickell album just came out, and that's kind of what they're playing with here with this show. Yeah.
Well, his music is traditional. I mean, he's this great
Yeah.
banjo player. And
Yeah.
It's traditional bluegrass, and
Yeah.
Edie's got this incredible voice. But he, as you say, he can't really resist the comedy. So there are some funny songs on there done in a very traditional style.
Exactly.
Like he said, he realized that gospel, there are no gospel-like songs for atheists.
Yeah.
So he wrote one.
Yeah, he's a funny guy.
And
He's
a
very funny
great
guy.
musician, and she, as I said, just has this incredible voice. So
Yeah.
that's coming, what, June 23rd, is it?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, at UPAC, and there's still good seats. It's selling fast, but people should buy tickets. It's worth it. You know.
Now, you sort of branched out into sort of an art thing. Tell me about Sirius.
Yeah, well, we got a grant the end of last year from the state of New York. Governor Cuomo came up with this idea last summer to get presenters like us throughout the state to take what we do on the stage and expand on it. Take it into the community, make it have even more of an economic impact on wherever you are. So we got the grant, we applied for it, and we're doing 4 festivals. The comedy festival, Serious Laughs, which is on right now. As you listen, it's open. I'll give you the dates and the times in a second. And then in the summer, we're doing a festival down at the river, round out here in the city of Kingston, in conjunction with the restaurants on the 5th after the 4th of July. And then we're doing another festival in Poughkeepsie in the fall, and another in Poughkeepsie in December. And this is a recurring grant potentially, so we're hopeful that we're growing something here. And this project we have now, Serious Laughs, Art, Politics, Humor, it's a comedy festival. It started April 1 at the Kingston Library. We installed works by William Wegman, who's very famous for his dog photos. It's the entire alphabet in dogs. And I'm sure he drugged them, because he's just dragging them around. This stuff's got to be. And Ariel Schrag, who's a wonderful graphic novelist, her work is there. Unfortunately, it ended before this program, April 30, it ended, but that was at the library. Then at UPAC, we've transformed it into a gallery with 25 artists, world-renowned people from Cindy Sherman and John Cage and Nina Cacciadorian and Pat Olesko, and these people some of whom have been on the scene a long time, have had retrospectives at MoMA. We have a great curator, Daniel Mason, who was able to lure them because of the mix of Louis Black, Kathy Griffin, a theater, not a gallery, where these edgy comedians are doing work that reflects your work and your work reflects their work. So we got a bunch of edgy artists doing sort of very funny, seriously funny, laughable stuff.
And as
like
you said,
the clothesline that's hanging outside of Kingston, the Kingston clothesline. Ken Landauer, he lives in Stone Ridge, wonderful artist. He's got another wonderful piece inside. It's just outrageous stuff. There's a giant octopus that's gripping UPAC right now as we're sitting here. And all of Padalesco's costumes are in the front, and some of Nina Cacciadorian's crazy quilt stuff. And you'll see, inside it has a sideshow feel. That's, I'm beginning to recognize now, it's like a sideshow in there, and it's cool.
And this runs till when?
May 12th, and it's open Saturday. This Saturday, it'll be 5 to 8 p.m. as part of the Kingston First Saturday celebration, and Sunday 12 to 4, and the following weekend, Mother's Day weekend, the final weekend, 12 to 4 on Saturday and Sunday. Or you can call UPAC for on Fridays by appointment. You can come and get a tour of it if you have a school group, especially, or whoever you are. You'll get a laugh out of it, and it's provocative and make you think and talk, and it's cool. It's a fun show. It's all visual, powerful stuff.
Great. Well, thanks for coming by, Chris.
Hey, my pleasure.
All right. That's it for this week's show. Thanks to Bethany Saltman of Chronogram. Find her online at BethanySaltman.com. Thanks to Margie Menard and Madeline Hoetger of the Kingston Library. Find them at KingstonLibrary.org and on Facebook. Thanks to Chris Silva. Find the calendar of events for UPAC at UPAC.org and at the Bardavon at Bardavon.org. Remember, all of our shows are now archived on our YouTube channel. You can find that link on our Facebook page. For Kingston Now, I'm Jimmy Buff. We'll see you next time.